So this is problem 35. And this is the original matrix. So here we have x plus y plus z equals 3, and then x plus 2y plus z equals 5, and so on. And here are the steps in order to solve that. So first to the row echelon form, where you introduce zeros here. I don't know if that highlights. And then later on, so here, here, and here, there we go. That's how you highlight it. And then later on, to get to the reduced row echelon form, you introduce them here, here, and here. And in the diagonals, you're going to get ones, and then you have the solutions over here. All right, let's get going. So taking the original matrix, actually what Symbolab does is it swaps the first with the third row. So basically it looks the same, except the first and the third row are swapped. Oh well. Then what it's doing is it introduces a zero right here by multiplying the first one with 1/2 and adding it to the second. Notice the first one stays the same, the third one stays the same, but the second row changes. And there's the 0, because -2 times 1/2 plus 1 is the 0. And of course, everything else has to be added as well. So 1/2 times 1 plus 2, that's the 5/2 that you see here, and so on. All right, next thing to do then is to introduce a 0 right here by multiplying also the first one with 1/2 and adding it to the third row. That just so happens that's because these two here were ones. I'm sorry, these here were ones. And then multiplying and adding through, that's what you get. Then the next step is to introduce a 0 right here. So again, 3/2. Here, the only other one that works is this one right here, because when you add the second and the third, you add 0 and 0 in the first one, which you want to keep. You want to keep a 0 there. So you multiply this one by -3/5. There it's written, -3/5, and add it to this one, which gets you this nice 0 right there. And then you add this to that, of course, with the -3/5 in the front, and you get this one and this one. And now we have the zeros here. Now we're going to go on to the reduced row echelon form, where we introduce zeros here, here, and here. So first of all, what it's doing is very smart. Multiply this last row here. I cannot highlight the whole thing here. Multiply this last row here by 5, and you get a nice 1 and 4 integers. And you already achieved the 1 right here in that diagonal right there. All right, so get a 0 here. Well, the only way you can do that is add the last row to it, because you already have a couple of zeros, so nothing will change in the front. So multiply this one by -2. Oh, I'm sorry, by -1/2. There it is, -1/2. And add to it, which introduces a nice 0 here. But do that, of course, here as well. Well, that's just adding a 0, but do it here as well, which is why the 7 reduces itself to a 5, because you multiply 4 times -1/2, which is -2, which you subtract from 7, which is 5. All right, then the next one here introduces 0 right here. So add the last one. In fact, simply add it. So multiply the last one by +1, and you get a 0 right here. And then this here stays 0. I'm sorry, stays the same anyway, because you're adding these zeros down here. But this one here changes a little bit. So 4 plus 1 times 4 right there. Okay, and then get a 0 right here. Well, to achieve that is multiply this one by -1 and add it. That's what it's doing exactly here. And you get a 0 here, and then, of course, the others change just a little bit, respectively only the 8 actually. And then the very last step is to divide the top row by -2, or multiply it by -1/2. That's the same. And that introduces finally the last one here. And I think I skipped something over here. Oh yeah, that's right. I skipped this one here. Multiply this one by 2/5 to get nice integers right here. And then you're at the last one, 1, 1, 1. And you have -3, 2, and 4, which are solutions, x, y, and z. Of course, the whole thing can be done very easily using the double REF form on the calculator, the reduced row echelon form, respectively. Symbolab, of course, does it for you.